This is KGW News at
One of the
sunrise.
biggest areas of concerns and that this rule actually addresses is working by yourself in those conditions.
Protecting those who have to work in the heat. More on the rules now in effect as the heat wave continues.
Also, we're talking about damage to thousands of trees across the country because of this. The emerald ash borer, an invasive beetle just discovered for the first time here in Oregon. So more on that coming up in just a few minutes.
Then high schoolers and recent college grads feeling more lost than ever. They haven't known political or financial stability in a long time, and it's making them feel shaky about where they're headed.
It's okay not to know everything about your future, which sucks because my generation likes to know things like now. But it's okay not to know your future. It's okay, even if you have an end goal in mind. If you don't have an end goal, it's okay. You're gonna take steps towards getting there.
Yeah, she took advantage of a brand new mentorship program in the metro area. How it's helping, coming up at 5:15.
Looking forward to that story. Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday, middle of the week. Yeah. Heat continues, but you have some new information for folks just waking up.
So the excessive heat warning, when we talked yesterday, remember it was posted, this is from the National Weather Service, through Thursday. Now they've extended that through Saturday. But that actually matches the 7-day forecast I gave you yesterday. It just means we're going to be near 100 degrees all the way through Saturday. So again, the same map, these darker pink magenta colors, that's where temperatures will probably hit 100 degrees. An excessive heat warning. The orange expected to stay in the 90s, but that's a heat advisory through Saturday. Another new player. See the gray? It's actually embedded under these different colors. It runs from Eugene all the way up into Longview, Kelso. That is an air quality advisory, which means we will be on guard for the potential of rising ozone levels, which you often get in these extended extreme heat waves, which we're now in the middle of. So you're asked to do your part and not drive and put, well, to use a term that's very popular right now, fossil fuels into the air. All right, 68 degrees right now, 84 at noon, 100 degrees at 5 p.m. I will tell you guys, forecast models are really insistent we're not going to hit 100 degrees today. We will either do it or we'll be close enough that you think we will have done it. Back to you.
I follow one model. That model's name is Rod Hill. All right, thank you, Rod. Because of Rod's blazing hot forecast, because of the hot temperatures all this week, most of Oregon is now under a state of emergency. So Governor Kate Brown says it covers 25 of the state's 36 counties, making additional resources available to help deal with the high heat. As of right now, the state of emergency goes through Sunday.
So there are now permanent rules in place to protect workers during this extreme heat. Oregon OSHA put them into place last year after a farm worker died installing some irrigation pipes in Marion County.
Yeah, KGW's Alma McCarty has more on what some of the new rules are and what the state is doing to make sure that employers follow them.
With the sun beating down and temperatures rising above 100 degrees, intense manual work becomes even more difficult. That's especially true for farm workers. Here's Ira Coyo Martinez, Policy and Advocacy Director for PCUN, Oregon's farm worker union.
You're constantly moving, doing repetitive motions, having to bend down, and there aren't many shaded structures when it comes to the fields.
Just last year, Sebastian Francisco Perez, a migrant farm worker providing for his family back in Guatemala, died while installing irrigation pipes during the heat wave.
Sebastian was working by himself during this heat wave and wasn't found until late after the fact that he was missing and not showing up. That's very concerning that anyone would work outside in excessive heat in 90 plus degrees, 100 plus degree weather. And the employer or other workers not knowing necessarily what they're doing or how they're experiencing working in those conditions.
Tragic cases like this and other instances of heat illness across the state prompted leaders to act. Oregon OSHA created requirements to further protect people who work outside exposed to high heat or inside without a ventilation system.
They implemented the brand new rules that took effect on a permanent basis starting on June 15th, 2022.
Paul Cerner, an employment attorney, explains if the heat index is 80 degrees, employers need to provide access to shade and cool drinking water. When it hits 90 and above, additional requirements kick in. Those include more breaks, more frequent communication, and monitoring everyone more closely for heat exhaustion and heat stroke.
That might be a buddy system for employers where they only have maybe teams working together on a site where it's really remote, or where the supervisor's going around doing round checking in on the employees.
One of the biggest areas of concerns and that this rule actually addresses is working by yourself in those conditions, because then no one can see if someone passes out or they are just excessively sweating and not necessarily taking the breaks that they should be.
OSHA inspectors will be checking on employers all summer to see their plans for protecting workers. Employees who feel rules aren't being followed can also submit complaints directly to the state without fear of retaliation. Alma McCarty, KGW News.
Well, also because of the heat, garbage pickup is happening earlier than usual across the metro area. Portland's residential garbage pickup will start around 4 a.m. from now until Friday. There are 10 garbage companies that provide waste collection in the city, though not all of them are picking up that early. In Washington County, Pride Disposal is also asking people to put their garbage cans out early pickup starting at 5 a.m.
We want to make sure that they're being safe and taken care of, and getting done a little bit earlier in the day before the hottest part of the day is the best way to do that. So starting a little bit early helps us to get them out of the heat so they can get back and cooled off and rehydrated.
Clackamas County says put your garbage out the night before because their haulers will be starting early as well.
Here are some of the other headlines making news this morning. Authorities have found the body of a missing swimmer at Hag Lake. He was swimming with family Monday when they say he went under the water and didn't surface again. There's no indication that foul play is involved. The swimmer has not been publicly identified yet. Portland police are looking for information about a hit and run in the Lloyd district that sent a motorcyclist to the hospital. This happened early Friday morning near Northeast Lloyd Boulevard and MLK. John Torque was about to stop for coffee at Dutch Bros when a car hit him from behind. A security camera recorded the crash. You can see sparks flying off the ground as that car plowed into the motorcycle. The car was a dark blue or black four-door sedan. If you recognize it or have any other information, you're asked to contact Portland Police. Also this morning, the search is on for a driver accused of trying to run over a Portland police officer. This happened early yesterday morning in St. John's. Police were investigating gunshots near North Fessenden and Columbia Way. They found a possible suspect sitting in a truck. That's when they say he rammed one of the police cars and almost hit an officer. That officer then shot at the man, but he took off, so it's not clear if he was actually hit and hurt. And those are some of your Wednesday morning headlines.
All right, back to this morning's top story. Rod Hill says today will be the second of what could end up being 5 straight days of triple-digit heat in many spots around the area. So we're going to let Rod handle the exact numbers in a moment. Right now, we're asking you about cool treats to help beat the heat. And we actually posted this question on our Facebook page. Where's your favorite spot for ice cream or frozen yogurt? Linda chimed in with Burgerville. She says she likes their raspberry shakes, although Linda is not too picky. She says sometimes she'll go to Dairy Queen too.
Yeah.
Is it a BV day or a DQ day? That is the question for Linda. So this is Lynn now. Lynn mentioned an ice cream drive-in in Cascade Locks where there's always a line. Sunrise editor Jay Lundenberg says she has to be talking about the East Wind Drive-In. You know that spot, right, Rod?
Yes, I do. I love that. I love their burgers. Pretty good, too.
Jay says they are very crowded on a hot day. All right, Joey's next. Salt and Straw, his favorite. And then finally, we have Dana, who says Jim's Ice Cream in downtown Hillsboro is her spot. She says they actually had the best ice cream cakes that she's ever had.
Oh, yeah.
So let us know your favorite spot for a frozen treat. You can respond to this post on our Facebook page or just text us. 503-226-5088 is the text line. We'll share more answers throughout the morning. I do remember 15 years ago this summer, my wife was pregnant with the twins. They weren't born till Labor Day weekend, so she spent the whole summer pregnant with the twins. Many visits to Dairy Queen, many peanut butter parfait orders.
Oh, yeah.
That was the go-to.
I've never had that.
The brownie, hot fudge brownie delight was always my DQ go-to.
DQ.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Baskin Robbins girl.
Oh.
You know, like sometimes on a carpool home from school, the parent would drop us off at Baskin Robbins for a ice cream cone. Yes.
Ooh, nice.
So fun.
Rodney, you're the only one who hasn't chimed in yet.
Well, I do salute in just north of Uptown Village in downtown Vancouver area. We have that old classic walk-up only Dairy Queen. And I've stood in line. I don't stand in line much, but I have been in that line for 30 minutes before.
You like a dipped cone, Ron?
Oh, yeah.
You don't know. I know. I'm the guy that's like, so let me get this straight. You have 70 different options. I'll take the vanilla soft serve, please.
Yeah.
All right,
boy.
let's get you going.
Simple.
But I love it. You know, DQ has that unique flavor to their vanilla, right? That ice cream. It's very unique. All right, the Dow's 111. These were the actual air temps yesterday. That was the hottest in the state, by the way. Hood River 104, Salem 103, Portland PDX equaled my forecast high of 102. That broke the record, which was 100 back in 2020, you may recall. And Hillsborough made it to 101. Vancouver's Pearson Airfield also hit 100 degrees. It stayed in the 90s up in the Kelso-Longview area. And like yesterday, I'd like to make a big deal out of the timetable for today's heat. So mid-80s at noon. We're going to maybe be lagging a little bit behind, but we could certainly be 90 somewhere in the 1:30 to 2 o'clock half hour today. And then we will either just get into the upper 90s or just make 100 for an actual high temperature here in the Rose City. We are foggy at the beach again this morning. Temperatures in the 50s here. We have 60s from Seattle down to Eugene, 77 out in the Dalles, 71 right now out in Pendleton. And here are the forecast numbers for today. You know, I thought yesterday there would be some spots get back up to 80 or so at the beach. I was wrong. That did not happen. The warmest spots of the coast were low 70s. So we'll go with that plan again today, with a lot of you only in the 60s with a mix of fog banks and some areas getting some sunshine at time and light winds. But clearly the coast under no advisories for heat, and that is your cool retreat spot across the region. All right, here we go for the valley. Salem 100. Parts of the valley may not reach 100 today, but again, we'll all be close to it with the excessive heat warning continuing. And again, that's been posted now through the day Saturday from our friends at the National Weather Service. Okay, out in the gorge, Hood River back up to 100. The Dow's 107. Again, yesterday was 111. Forecast models are really liking the fact that today won't be quite as hot, but it will still be in the same category, if you will. So we'll go just near 100, maybe spiking 102 on Fridays. I've raised Saturday to 100. I had 98, Sunday 93. And there's actually the chance that we could get a shower at some point late Monday into Tuesday with a push of cooler weather coming in. Picture you're standing there with the raindrop hitting your face and you're just going, I love it.
Might feel good. All right, Rod, thank you.